Okay ji, now we'll see the bubble sort. Another very important part of your arrays process in which we will see how the values we can process from the array. Okay, so when we talk about the bubble sorting, it is actually one thing that you should remember for the bubble sort. The purpose of the bubble sort is to convert an unsorted list into a sorted list. Okay, this is the purpose of the bubble sort. So this is, let's say we have the values. For example, this is an unsorted list and I will write the values randomly: 7, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. This is an unsorted list, and this unsorted list will be converted into a sorted list, and sorted list means it will become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So the bubble sort is going to do this sorting, means it will convert my list into a sorted my list. It will make a sorted my list. Okay, and how will this sorting be done? Why it is called bubble sort? The reason it is called bubble sort is that the bubble sorting is done by comparing two adjacent elements of the array. So these two elements will be compared. We are going to compare these two values, and how we will compare it? The first thing we will do is that we will see, is the first element is greater than the next element? Okay, let me write the indexes as well. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 1, 2, 3. These are the indexes. Okay, don't mix it up with the values in the arrays. Okay, so the first thing that the elements will be compared is this element is greater than the next element. Okay, so we can say that if my list I is greater than my list I plus 1. So this point is very important in the bubble sort. When we are comparing two adjacent values, is the first value is greater than the next value? This question mark. This question mark is very important. If it is yes, if it is true, then what will happen? We will do the swap. A swapping will be done. Swap the values. Okay, now what is swap? Swap means exchange the values position. You need to exchange the values position. How? Let's say I will give you an example. If the now let's say A is 4 and B is 5. So A has a value 4 and B has a value 5. And if we want to exchange the values, one way is that we assign A is equal to B and B is equal to A. So what will happen? If A is equal to B, A will get the value of B, that is 5. And when we do B is equal to A, technically when you assign the A to B after this, because in the the pseudocodes or the programming, the one characteristic of coding or the pseudocoding or even the program statement is that they are sequential in nature. Means the values are executed in sequence in which they are written. So in the first line, A has got the value of B, and now in the second line, when you assign the value of A to B, now the A is updated with the value 5. So in the next line, when you assign A to B, so B will also get 5. So the exchange will not be successful over here. So A will not get the value of B and B will not get the value. A will get the value of B, but B will not get the value of the old value of the A, that was 4. So it is so the exchange is not successful over here. So in order to make this swap successful, we take the support of another variable, and that is called temp. We take a variable temp. Now what will happen? First, we will assign the value of A to temp. The value of the A will be assigned to temp. So what temp will get? Temp will get 4. Then we will give A to B. Now A get 5. Now what will give into B? Into the B we will give temp. So now B will get 4. Now if you see, A is 5 and B is 4. So this is how we do the swap. This is the right way of swapping. Okay? So in the bubble sort, what is happening? The swapping is done like this. The values, they are exchanged by taking the support of a variable that is called temp. Okay, so that is the second thing that we do in the swap. And third is another very important part. So I explained the first thing that we do is, this was the first thing, that we do the comparison. We compare the values to adjacent value. And second is that we do the swap. And third is we complete one round of comparison and then swap. We'll do the comparison and swap. Okay, and then you need to repeat the whole process again until there is no value bigger than the adjacent value. Okay, so you need to repeat the whole process again and again. So we need to have, so this we will do by nested loop. So we'll use a nested loop, and every time the swapping will be done, what will happen? Once the data is taken out, let's say in our case 7 3 4 5 1 2, so the value, this 7 will be taken out. So 7 3, when we will compare, for example, we'll compare these 7 3, the values will be exchanged. 7 will come here and 3 will exchange here, so the value, and then 7 will be compared with the next, and then, and in the end what will happen with the first round, the 7 will go in the end, in the last index. Okay, let's say, so 7 will reach over here, and then the values will be like 3 4 5 1 2. This is the first round. After the end of first round, the value will come like this. Now this 7 will be, the list will be shortened after the first round. Now you have to now take out the larger from the remaining ones. Now what will happen? 3 is greater than 4? No. 4 is greater than 5? Yes, swap will happen. No, sorry, 4 is not greater than 5. 5 is greater than 1? Yes, now swap will happen. So 5 will come over here and 1 will come over here. Then 4, then 3. Now again 5 is compared with 2. Again swap will happen. 5 will come over here, 2 here, 4, 3. Now you see this 5 is also taken out of the list. Now 5 and 7, the list is again shortened and we are left with these values. Now again the sorting will be done between them. 3 is greater than 4? No. 4 is greater than 1? Yes. Now 4 will be taken here. And now in this case 3, and then 1 will come over here, 4, and then 2, and then 5, and then 7. So again 4 will go over here and 2 here, 4 here, 5 and 7, 1 and 3, and now 4 is also taken out. Now these 3 values are sorted. Now we'll do this. 3 is greater than 1? Yes. So 1 come over here, 3 here, 2 here, 3 again, 3 here, 2 here, 1 here, and this whole list is sorted in the end. So this is the main concept, the main theme behind the bubble sorting. Now just see it in the coding, in the pseudocode, the bubble sort, like you can see. Although I have the coding over here, but just to understand, it is in the VB. We have a variable isSwap. Okay, so we can do it in the simple declare isSwap boolean is equal to true, declare again. In the VB we are in the coding, you know, because in the AS you are not writing any VB code, you are just writing the pseudocode. Declare list as integer, and these are the values. Declare, so again this is declare index, and here we'll write the output. So this is the output, and this is again the output. this variable values. Okay. So these are the variables we need. Declare a swap, and this is the list. So the very first thing is that it will show us the unsorted list. First we'll do what we are doing over here is that we are showing the unsorted list, means these kind of values. Okay. Then we move toward uh, sorting, and here I have used while and while. Okay. And I told you that the bubble sorting is done by nested loop. So we have a while loop outside, and then there is a for loop inside. Okay. So this is just a this I'm adjusting the comments. So these are the comments just for your understanding. It has nothing to do with the coding. It is just for your. So while is a precondition loop, true based loop, stops when the condition is false. So this is just for your understanding. Okay. If we just take it out, there is no issue. You can see my other while loop video so to understand how it works. So in the while loop, what we are doing is swap is true, means when we are, it will keep doing it unless the swap is true. So the moment there is no swap, the loop will stop. Okay. So the very first thing we are doing whenever it moves inside, it is making it false, and then we are comparing, doing it from index 0 to 7, and then we are doing the same thing. So this is the main body of the bubble sort, and I told you that this is in this type, in this part we are doing the swap, and this is first we are comparing the element at an index with its adjacent value, and if the value is greater than its adjacent value in the array list, then what it is doing, then it is shifting the value into the temp, and then moving the adjacent value uh, into the location behind it, and then moving the temp value into the adjacent value, and then it's making it true. So when it is true, it will go back and see. Okay, so it will first move around and it will do all the comparison. Okay, and this will, once this for loop will finish, this is the first round, and then there are various rounds until the swap is true. So every time when the loop will finish, if there is any swap, it will become true. It will become true, and then when it will go out, it will see yes, there was a swap, it will go out, and it will again make it false. So in the second round, before the start of the second round, the swap will be again turned false. So a time will come when there will be no swap. So the program will not go inside this if and if, because no single value will be greater than its adjacent value. So in that case, the is swap will remain false. So when it will go up, this condition will become false and the loop will stop. So this is how the loop will be, the array will be sorted. And then we will output the array. So output and for index and again output. So we'll output the index, and this is how we'll do it. So this is the coding of the bubble sorting. Okay.